Yeah.
Well.
Okay.
Where's the hole?
The hole. There's a hole in this cake.
Hole
Okay.
in this cake. Did
this
you?
is
You
Jamie's. What?
bought this. You did not roll
No,
this. You're
actually, I
sack.
didn't roll it because somebody gave that to me.
Who?
I can't say it on camera. You know who? The dude that gives us weed.
Oh, that dude.
The dude.
The dude. We got the weed
we have a
dude. We got the weed.
We got the
Smells
dude.
good.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Am I lighting this? Or are we waiting?
Not yet. We've just got to just calm down into the thing here.
You know.
Okay. This is Jamie Salazar. Now, I on my channel, I am going to today we're going to talk about marijuana and spirituality. So, spark one up, kick back, and let's just get into things. We're going to have a good night.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Now I put the pause and then we go into the next. Okay.
And then you play some little and
and we're not even stoned yet. Okay.
Yes, but it's about to happen.
It totally is. Okay, so this is what we're going to talk about tonight. She's so excited to spark that up. We're talking about marijuana and spirituality. So I figured that we should do something along the lines of like this whole persona of getting stoned and how it's this bad thing, and like if you're spiritual you can't get stoned. That doesn't make any damn sense. So I would like to anyways kick off this new series on the channel, and we are going to call it I forgot what we're going to call it. Okay, Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners, or Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners. And this is me sober. And this is the other thing. This is the other reason why I wanted to do this. This is Calisia, by the way. This is my bestie. We've been besties since we were 13.
Yes.
13 years old.
Long time.
Yeah, and we're 41.
Why you got to tell people that?
I'm sorry, I just...
The whole world needed to know that.
I know. So I wanted to go into a few things this evening, and then we're going to spark one up. And if you viewers at home would like to spark one up with us, then let's just do this, because we're going to talk about how, first of all, go ahead and spark that up.
I think I need to.
I think you do. Okay.
It's time.
All right, let's just talk about that. Let's get this going here.
I'm going to start everything on fire.
Well, maybe
How
we
about
should.
that?
Okay, first and foremost, we're in my truck only because I can't necessarily spark one up. You don't want to see the dirty garage, and I don't have anything set up out back. And I don't necessarily want to do this in the house with my children. So this is what mommies do. Sometimes we need a bit of a break, right?
Sometimes.
I've got 5 kids. Miss Calisia here has 4.
Yes.
So
you have to run away whenever you can. Try to anyway.
Okay, so Calisia, I want to talk about your background with medication. You're right there?
No, it's the first time.
The background with medication, and so can you tell us a little bit about that story, because we'd love to hear it.
So about, how long ago was that? I'm good for as right now.
I am too.
It had to have been about 8 years ago. It was when I was giving birth to my last daughter, Ava. I had an epidural done, and they actually hit my spinal cord, which I was not aware of. And for the longest time, I was in so much pain, and nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. And
There's been something wrong with you for a very long time, but continue.
Okay, you don't have to tell the whole world that either, but anyway.
Just letting you know, folks.
I thought I was a hypochondriac. I went to 4 different specialists. I was told that I had fibromyalgia. And then I started...
and isn't fibromyalgia like a broad term for they don't know what the hell...
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
But
like you're having pain, but we don't know what the
is,
fuck that is.
The definition of fibromyalgia is that you have pain in all of your joints, in every single one of your joints. And the only thing that I had pain in was my lower back. So I thought, fibromyalgia? No, that can't be right, because I don't hurt all over, just my lower back. So I started going to a place. I'm not going to name the place, but it's the devil's place.
The devil's lair. That's what it was called.
Anyway,
Sorry.
And I started going to pain management. Well, when I first started going, I was put on antidepressants. I was put on painkillers. I went there for about 4.5 years. By the time I was done, I was injecting myself with liquid morphine.
Oh my God.
I was I was prescribed 2 to 4 NORCOs, which is the lower version of Oxycontin, every 4 hours. I was prescribed, what's that really high one? Vicodin. I was prescribed, there was one other one, Oxycontin, and I was on all of them. And when you start taking painkillers more and more, they don't help you whatsoever. They make the pain more intense, and by that point you're so addicted to the painkillers that you can't function without them.
So being on the painkillers made it more painful?
Yes.
Like, was
Yes.
it more painful while you were on, like, while the
It
medicine
was-
was in there, or was it because
The medicine was not even working anymore by the
Okay.
time I was done. It wasn't doing anything, but the whole addiction, I needed the pills.
Right.
So I didn't freak out. It was the worst drug besides meth.
That's like heroin, basically. Like, it's legal heroin,
Yes,
yeah?
yes it is. And every time I got a
That
prescription,
Big Pharma puts you on.
yeah, every time I got a prescription that the doctor would write for me, the doctor would get a kickback.
Of course. I've heard of that actually happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And when I started on my pain management, I was on 2 prescriptions. One it was like for your face, because adult acne is a killer.
Yeah. We all know this.
I was on that, and I was on something for acid reflux. By the time I was done going to pain management, I was on 37 prescriptions, 7 of them being opiates. They had me on 800 milligrams of Seroquel, which is a tranquilizer.
Was this the same doctor, or did you have to go to, like, I mean, I know some of these
Pain
things,
management
but, like,
was the same doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's the one that prescribed me all of these medications.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I had 6 prescriptions to counteract the side effects of some of the prescriptions.
Wow. I mean, that's the way it works, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, it was horrible.
You have to take
horrible.
a medication
Yeah.
to reverse the side effect of the medication that you have to take.
Yes, and it was absolutely horrible. And I was in so much pain that I couldn't function. But because I was addicted to the painkillers, I had
You
to
had
keep
to
taking
have
them.
those.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I started my path on edibles.
Yes. Wait, before we get to that, I would like to talk about. Hold on, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Okay.
And this is her stoned. Enjoy the show.
Oh my God, and I took 2 puffs. Like, this is all it takes, folks. 2 puffs and I'm done. What the hell? Oh my God. Oh, okay, the sleeping thing. Because I remember, okay, so could you not sleep because of the medication?
Yes.
Okay, because I want to talk about that.
You want to talk about my Ambien?
Yes. The Ambien. Was
Okay,
it Ambien?
and it was Ambien.
Okay.
But you also have to remember that I was on Seroquel as well, which could have counteracted the 2. I mean, it just...
Oh my God. So, okay, she would call me at night, okay, and we would talk for like 2 hours because her husband was working, her ex-husband, but husband at the time. We won't go there. Anyway, he was working midnight shifts, and my husband would fly out all over the place, so he was not at home. So we would just talk to each other for 3-4 hours at night. I remember, so I would talk to her for 2-3 hours, and then the next day she would call me bright and early in the morning and well, maybe not bright and early because you're not a morning person.
I am too a morning person.
Anyway, she would call me and then tell me all about the exact same story that she was talking about the night before. And I'd be like, Calise, you already told me this. And she's like, what? I never told you this. When did I tell you this? And I'm like, last night. And she would not remember that you talked to me the entire conversation. Like, it's hilarious to talk about now, but that's really sad, actually. That's really fucking scary.
Well, the worst thing
medication,
about
and
it,
you
though...
were taking care of your children, and they were totally and not by any means could you not, but seriously, they just said it was okay.
But the thing with Ambien is that you have different sleep cycles. And with Ambien, Lunesta, any of those pharmaceutical sleep aids...
Putting that down.
Why are you gotta disturb me. Okay. With Ambien, you don't actually go into your REM sleep. So you're not actually sleeping. So I was taking
weird.
all these sleeping pills and thinking that I'm sleeping, but I never really slept.
That is so weird.
And I would eat things all night long and not remember.
Like snacks. Oh, man.
Lots of snacks. Yeah.
Lots of snacks. You know, it would have been too bad that back then, in those days, back in those days, I mean, that was only like, what, 10 years ago or something? But
I know, we already told everybody we're 41.
Whatever.
It's all good. Don't matter.
Anyway, could you imagine, like, setting up a camera? Wouldn't that freak you out a little bit? It'd be like watching one of those scary movies when you're like...
That would be horrible.
And I'm not joking. Like, it's funny
like
to
that
talk
lady
about,
that
that's scary.
That filmed herself sleepwalking
Yes,
or whatever. It
that
would have been like
freak
that.
me out. But there's even stories. Haven't you ever heard, like, has anybody heard those stories about the lady that, like, filmed herself? And I don't know if, like, this is something that my girls told me. Okay, so this, who knows? But I heard something, and I swear they were telling me about it, about some lady that was, like, filming herself at nighttime. She was sleepwalking because she was on something like Ambien, and she would sleepwalk, and she, like, murdered somebody.
Well, there was an incident
and she was, like,
around
eating
here.
people or something.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about all that.
Maybe the eating people part is something that a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old girl would tell me. I'm not quite sure about that one. But the sleepwalking. Oh my God, okay. What am I doing? Oh, Jesus. This is going to be a great, we're going to have to do this series like, wow.
We're going to start doing our makeup next week in the car.
No, God, no. No, but I really like that chick that does that. She's freaking hilarious. So we're going to talk about spirituality.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And get stoned. But I mean, if you want to dress like a clown, more power to you.
You want me to bring
whatever
one of my
dates?
dates?
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue. Okay, we're totally gonna. Okay, listen, I don't want to hear about aliens right now. My phone is telling me about aliens, and okay, listen, I am a freak, and I love all that stuff. I like the aliens, and oh God. Okay, so in these conversations, even though tonight we're going to talk about the benefits, and I have an entire list of benefits, and we're never going to get to them.
I would so watch this fucking show.
I totally would too. Let's just hope. What the hell was I talking about again?
I don't remember.
My God, I'm going to have to do so much editing. You do have to think about this, though. I mean, okay, so the frequency level of things like alcohol and drugs, like street drugs. Marijuana is not a drug, by the way. It's a plant, so we're not going to go there on that. I'm just saying. Plants are totally different. Unless it's like cocaine, which was a plant. But I mean,
this
that's
goes
something
along
that,
lines of you eating people and shit.
Right.
You're on that same track
okay,
again.
Listen, I have ADD, and this is what happens. And you know, in all of my videos before, I'm always like, try to be so serious, and like I did start
People
doing.
Don't want serious. People want real.
This is really me, though, right? But this tonight is really me. Even when we're sober, this is really me.
Yeah, you're goofy as hell.
Yeah, but on camera, I'm not so much.
I know, but you need to be more fun
I know.
and open, and maybe
I
the
need to be
clown
more
suits.
fun. Fuck, I know.
The clown suits would help. I mean, we could do this.
Yeah, we could. Okay, so let's just talk about this. So the frequency level, let me go back to that. The frequency level of drugs and alcohol is pretty low, right?
Yeah.
Like and so when you're ingesting those, when those are in your body, it's going to make you vibrate at that same vibration.
Yeah.
Okay. But things like marijuana are actually proven to be way higher on that scale. And I forgot what the hell the scale's called. The Hawkins scale. Boom.
She got it.
The Hawkins scale. So, but it's pretty close to, it's like love and acceptance up there. And I can't, okay, don't quote me on this, but it's somewhere around there. It's like in the 400s, almost 500s. Okay. So now this is the thing. If, I do know this, I did some studying about this.
Oh.
Do you know why you get paranoid when you smoke marijuana?
Why?
Because you're already vibrating at a high level. Well, this is one of the reasons, okay? Because clearly there can be like you're freaked out and you're paranoid and whatever. But if your normal vibration is higher than the weed, then you will actually be brought down.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to think. But when your depressed, and it's really great for my husband has PTSD, and I would so love, and he drinks, but I would,
Which
and it's
in
terrible.
turn lowers his vibration.
Yeah, totally lowers his vibration, and everybody in the house hates it. He hates it, but like when you smoke marijuana, it actually brings you from that really shitty, lower vibration, and it moves you up into higher vibrations, so you feel better. And I'm sure that, like, I want to say, like, if you're growing your own weed and, like, having the love vibration around it, and, like, playing some Bob Marley, I mean, everybody needs to play some Bob Marley when they're like, seriously. So when you're doing things like that, then because plants react to things
that's
around
very
you.
true. I never
So you're
thought
like
of that.
putting all the love in there. So I've been thinking,
you want to grow marijuana
I
now,
usually
don't
kill
you?
plants though.
Yeah, me too. I'm notorious.
I mean, I've got some in there that are doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Maybe, I've got a couple of friends, though, that grow it, and they're freaking amazing. And, they have pretty high vibes.
Yeah. You know who you are if you're watching.
That's right. There's two of them.
Two of you.
Two gentlemen that are just awesome.
Just
awesome. With growing that marijuana. Okay, anyway. As we were talking about before, the Hawkins scale, and that. So how did you feel? I want to know. So I know you're going to go into, like, you actually switching over and getting off of all these pain medications and all that stuff. So I also want you to add, like, how did you feel when you were on the medications, like just during the day when you were sober, even, and versus the opposite.
The kicker of all the medications. You remember the kicker, don't you? The reason why I had to get off all the medications was because I got a blockage in my intestines, which happens when you take too many opiates, and it's called opiate-induced constipation, and it can literally kill you. And yes, I was in surgery for 8 hours. They had to cut out a section of my bowel. Yeah.
Oh, God.
And then I was in the hospital for 4 months after that.
And then, like, what do they put you on for pain medication? Because that's
so what happened was, because of the fact that I was on so many painkillers for such a long time, when I came out of surgery, they couldn't control my pain. So they had to put me in a medically induced coma for 3 days so I could actually heal without freaking out, because all of the medications that they tried to give me would not control my pain because I had been on so many opiates for so long.
Wow. And it actually, I mean, that just goes to show you how it's, like, basically killing you from the inside.
Yes. And I have a scar from here to here with 18 staples.
And you were so proud of the fact that you had all 4 of those babies with no, you don't have to, like, get emergency C-section.
Oh, yeah. And now I look like Freddy Krueger all the way down.
First of all, you're beautiful, so no. I think. But I understand for... Yeah. That's horrible. And then, so how did you feel, and how did that crossover happen?
After I left the hospital, I mean...
I just got her stoned, and she was all good. I'm sorry, continue.
Hold on, let me make sure homegrown plants. Okay.
I didn't grow any because I kill plants, and I'm doing really good with the ones in my house, though, but they're not Mary Jane.
What are you going to do when you get rid of Homeboy in there? You're not going to have fish water anymore.
I am, because I'm going to get another fish, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh.
I'm trying to get rid of a plecostomus because he's in a really small tank.
If anybody wants one, he's really cute.
She loves my plecostomus. He's in a bowl. Like, he's not supposed to be in a bowl. He's supposed to be in a tank, right? Like a big tank. So I'm trying to not get rid of him, but put him in a better home. We got it. Stop it. I'm trying to get him some buddies, and he needs some friends.
All his other friends died.
So he can grow spiritually and physically. I mean, fish has got to do that too. I'm just saying. Just saying. I mean, what's the problem? Okay, so...
Yikes.
Continue.
I don't remember what I was saying.
So you got to tell them how was the... I've told you this like 4 times. The transition, like the transition from the opium.
It was rough.
Opium.
The opiates.
Not opium. She wasn't doing opium.
No,
but I
didn't do that.
Basically, when the doctors give you shit, I mean, it's gonna.
Well, they say getting off of opiates is harder than getting off of heroin.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And the side effects are way worse.
Wow.
because it, like, your whole entire everything hurts. Like, you know, if your hair could hurt, your hair would hurt.
You know what we should do, and this is, I think, the trick, but I keep looking over at you because I'm baked. Anyway, we gotta look at each other through the, okay, but there's kind of that in your way, but regardless, you gotta look, yeah.
I don't like my 4 chins.
You don't have 4 chins. I feel like I always do too, and you're fucking beautiful. So we're gonna be positive and put positive body image. I can't even talk. Woo! Okay. Continue. You almost snorted.
I did not.
That would have been like great. That would have been awesome.
Don't choke on that.
Did you want me to?
Sure. That would have been great.
Oh God. Okay. Continue.
Okay. So when I got out of the hospital, I think they prescribed me NORCO.
Okay. NORCO.
And
what is NORCO?
NORCO is like,
I mean, it almost says it right there. It's like narcotics.
yeah, it's
NORCO.
it's like the step down from, I want to say, either Vicodin or Oxycontin, one of the two. But it's a like 325 milligram pill, and
wow.
yeah, they sent me home with that, and then I think I was still taking the Seroquel for sleep. Okay. Because I stopped taking the Ambien because, you know, that was getting a little freaky.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I didn't eat people, though.
That you know of. It might have been you. That story might have been you. You just don't know. Okay.
And now you're exposing me to the world. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry.
On the next episode, you'll see me in Larimer County Prison.
You just told them where we live. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Continue. It's fine. We don't even care. Okay,
Nevada County.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Okay, anyway. And then they started with CBD oils and creams, but insurance does not cover any of those. So those were very expensive. And then a doctor recommended me getting a med card. And it's not that I've ever been against weed, but I never did find the right weed for me for the longest time.
Yeah. I mean,
and
to
that
be fair,
definitely matters.
When we were kids, I was never into weed. Neither were you, really.
No.
Like,
we did it once in a while to be cool and cruise, you know.
Yeah. Cruise around, which
I almost said it.
I know. Listen, right now we're in the truck, but we're in front of my house, okay? We're not going anywhere. We're not driving anywhere. No. We're just trying to hide from people.
Yes.
But yes, there was a time that we did drive, and we got pulled over even, by the way.
That was her fault.
But that's... What? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we'll tell you that story on a different stoner
binge
series. So, okay, go ahead.
And I got a med card, and then when I first went to the dispensary, I was completely lost. I had no idea what I was doing. And I started with tinctures, which taste like ass. I must admit.
I don't
so
like
gross.
them either.
I mean, that was like 8 years ago, so I'm sure the flavors and, you know, whatever seasoning they put in there has gotten better, but...
Seasoning, I like that.
Yeah, they season it up a little bit.
I don't know,
special,
they do.
Spiritual, loving spices.
Yeah.
And that was just gross. And then I talked to a younger kid at the dispensary, and he's like, you know, you should try edibles. And I was like, okay, you know, I'll try it. And I got little candies, and I got a brownie and a candy bar, and
I remember you got like the Flintstones one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I go home.
I may or may not have tried that with her.
Probably. I went home and I smoked a little bit. And this was all before bed because my biggest problem was sleeping. And I smoked a little bit, and I don't know if it was all the leftover meds. I don't know what, but I didn't really feel it. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe I'll try this brownie.
Biggest problem with edibles. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, and then I tried the brownie, and it was like this big. This thing was huge, okay?
Yeah.
And it was a mint chocolate chip double fudge brownie,
God.
something.
I bet she's so good too.
Okay, so nobody told me, by the way.
I have a similar story as well, so yes.
You don't eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was so incredibly delicious. And when you're stoned, you get the munchies anyway. And this brownie's just looking at me and telling me, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I crawled to the
anymore.
kitchen and got out ketchup and bread and then crawled back to my room because I thought I was
Crawled on the floor. Oh my God.
And I didn't even make my sandwich. I don't know what kind of sandwich I was making, but it sounded good.
A ketchup sandwich.
I got ketchup and hot hamburger buns or something. It wasn't even bread.
Oh my God. Okay, so how did you feel the next day?
I think I slept for like 2 days.
Okay, how did you feel a week later?
Great. Just great. Yeah.
So was that the transition. But then you even like got freaked out because the kids were little. You didn't want to do that. And you didn't do that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then came back to it.
Yeah.
And now you don't like edibles very much. Or
No,
you do.
I mean, no, not really.
You've got the nighttime ones though, and those do help.
But those are pills, and they're called Midnights. They're absolutely fantastic. I would recommend them to anybody who's got issues with sleeping, because I've been taking.
This is THC though, so if
yes,
you have
it's all
sadly,
natural.
if you have a job that requires you to
drug test,
then you can't. Sadly, until they do it federally, right?
Yeah.
And they need to hurry up and do that. Like I'm advocating for them to hurry up because
if you do have a job.
You
and you get tested, you don't want to take those because they're not CBD. They're completely THC.
Yeah.
But I used to take about, 4 Tylenol PMs at night, a sleep aid, melatonin, and now that I take this THC pill, I take 2 Benadryl, this pill, and that's it. And
like
I
one
sleep
Benadryl
amazing.
I'd be out.
Yeah, I have a really high tolerance to Benadryl.
Do.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, you have a high tolerance to like sleep medication too.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. But I take that, and then maybe if you want to kick it off a little, like if you have a really hard time sleeping, you take a melatonin with it. And I wake up in the morning,
I would
and
be in a
I'm
coma.
I'm
a one-hitter quitter, folks. You just saw me take 2, and I'm fucking blitzed. So
yeah, I have a very high tolerance to pills and pain meds and a lot of things.
And I'm not an advocate for people, because we know people that smoke weed on a constant basis to function, and I mean,
but I'm kind of getting there.
Yeah, but not to the point where there's people that do this for no reason whatsoever, and they're just they're doing it just to get trashed, basically.
Yeah.
While they're like drinking and doing all this
I do
other
it
stuff.
just to maintain, though.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like it's a party drug.
No, I don't think so at all. I think
blast,
it's a kickback, look into yourself, just I don't know. I find it.
I think like even in meditation, and I get that some people are going to have issues with this, and I don't do it all the time. Like I think you should be able to meditate. Clearly, you got to be able to meditate sober at the same time.
Yeah.
But once in a while, there's times that I'm just too frazzled, and and this is the one thing I wanted to talk about too: spiritual awakening symptoms and medical marijuana, because I think that they helped me, and that's why, because I wasn't a big stoner. Like I just wasn't when I was younger.
Neither was I.
Yeah, and now there's times that I have 5 kids, and they're all over the place, and then I have a husband with PTSD, and
a bestie who's absolutely insane.
And a crazy bestie, and I'm ADD, and we all have our issues. But I think it's just it helped calm me down, and it helps me kind of focus on my connection with my higher self in meditation.
Yeah.
So,
and you got to think, too, people who get shit-faced drunk or do heroin, or you got to think all these things are putting your vibration lower, and you wonder why it never makes you a better individual, and it never helps you heal, because you're putting yourself deeper in the shit than you originally were.
So right.
Yeah, so
healing, you can't heal when you're at a low vibration.
You can't heal when you're always sad about your life and you're regretting so many things. And I was a heavy meth user, and I wanted to die every day.
Right.
I have never been in a lower place than when I was doing that.
Yeah.
But also you got to get to that.
So that was the break I was talking about. I wasn't sure if you wanted to even go there.
Oh, yeah.
But that was that break that I was talking about, that you stopped smoking weed for a while, because you did kind of get freaked out about it, and then you didn't do that at all, and then you kept doing taking the pain medication.
Yeah.
Instead, because you were freaked out on the other one.
Yeah.
And
that was because I had never found the right strain.
Right. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if I were still smoking the same stuff I was smoking back then, I'd still be completely in the head.
But then you got into the meth, and that was the break that I was talking about there. But so do you want to talk about that just a little bit? I don't want you to go into too much detail that you're uncomfortable with, because I know
I'm
that
not uncomfortable with it.
Okay,
at
cool.
all. At all.
You run you run the show, because I'm not gonna.
So how deep do we want to go into that? I mean,
however you want to do. I
like,
mean, this is kind of like
you want
therapy,
me to?
right? I mean, you're telling like the world right now, but
yeah. How do you want me to start, like, a divorce or?
Sure, yeah. Start there. Like that was painful. Like mentally, I mean, we're talking about PTSD and mental health as well, and this helps with that too. So let's go into that. So
you're just going to cut in and out of this stuff. So, I started my meth use shortly after I had my divorce. I found out my now ex-husband was having an affair for 8 years, and we had just bought a house, and we had just bought brand new cars, and I was finally recovering from my surgery I had from all the pain meds. And, you know, forever and ever, I will be an addict. I will be a pill popper, meth user, you know. I mean, I will forever be an addict, and that's just the way it is, and I'm okay with that.
I'm sorry, I used to call you a pill popper.
I was a pill popper.
No. I mean, I like did this joke.
But I was,
like,
yeah. But I mean,
nice.
it was. I had little cups. I would have little Dixie cups at night of handfuls of pills I had to take. It was horrible, and I had no idea what the hell was going on 90% of the time, to be quite honest. Anyway, so got the divorce, and you know, we had just bought a house. I was finally getting better. We just bought 2 brand new cars. I was actually a manager at a convenience store, and I mean, life looked like it was coming back together. Joke's on me. I think a month after we moved into the house, a lot of things went down, and divorce was coming. So, you know, I myself have PTSD, ADHD. What else is wrong with me? I don't even know.
Nothing is wrong with you now.
Yeah, like, I don't see myself as a victim. I don't want to sit here and say, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, the thing that does bother me, though, is the whole, when people hear you have PTSD, they think, oh, this poor person, oh my God, what happened to them to make them so sad, boo-hoo.
Right, like you're broken.
Yes, and that, like, people look at you like you're, like, breakable. Like, oh my God, you got to watch what you say around her. She has PTSD. She's going to go cry in the corner and cry herself to bed on a big pillow.
Quite the opposite with
you know? Yes.
Quite the opposite with
not at all. And when you hear the words ADHD, what do you think? Hyper, crazy, maniac. I mean, so when you have PTSD and ADHD, it should actually level out, and you should just be normal. I mean, if you think about it in all theory, right?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah.
I mean,
maybe.
The ADHD gives you hyperness to the PTSD. Yeah, I mean,
tune that doesn't know where they're
that eats people at night when they're on Ambien. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway.
However, we kind of do that anyway. I have ADD for sure.
Yeah, that I know.
You're definitely ADHD. But I love you.
Her life would be so boring without me.
Totally would. Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry.
Okay. I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
Okay, you can smoke.
And oh yeah, see, now that I'm on camera, I'm allowed.
Right?
You see that?
She's allowed. I never let her smoke in my truck because I smoked for years, right? And then I quit smoking like a year ago. And
which is very good for her.
Well, you know how I did it is CBD cigarettes. Look at that.
It all goes to the weed.
Oh shit! It was CBD cigarettes because for a long time, we were smoking those Black and Milds.
I don't know how you ever smoked those. Yikes.
I loved them, and terrifying. I smoked those for a long time, and they're like, that's a huge addiction. Oh God, that's
would you like some vitamin water?
No, I have my water right here.
I had one. Pitta patta, pitta patta.
Pitta patta, pitta patta. Anyway, smoking was a huge addiction to me.
Oh,
and
look at it! It's all over the camera.
See, it's all right. I'll take a shower after that. I'll take a bath. My baths. Anyway, that's a huge addiction.
It is.
So yeah, like.
And that's one I truly don't want to give up.
CBD cigarettes.
I don't know why. I am trying to cut down smoking cigarettes and going to a vape because that'll give you popcorn longer and it won't kill you sooner than the other one. I don't know. Who cares? But it's just not really working out for me.
Okay. Now I'm sorry. I totally got you off track. So back to your streets. You're on the streets.
Oh, so okay. we decided to get a divorce, and
oh, we haven't even gotten that
yeah,
far.
I was
Sorry, I totally
See, she just wants
rewind.
to
Rewind. I'm sorry. Continue.
So we ended up getting a divorce, and it hit me really hard. And I had been off the pain meds at this point for about 4 months, so I was still, in my, sensitive phase. It was still, but it was hard, but I was doing it anyway. So the divorce really just kind of took me by surprise. And I was feeling very bad about myself, and I was probably at one of the lowest points in my life. That really, it hit hard.
Yeah.
And then I decided to go on dating websites, which I would not recommend. And I met a guy, and he was a raging alcoholic when I first met him. But I thought, with all the things I had been through, that I could maybe help this guy. Well, it turned out that you can't help people if they don't want to be helped. If they want to be shitty people, they will be shitty people, and that's just the way it is.
Right.
And we started doing meth, and I'm not saying anybody do meth, because it will honestly ruin parts of your life that you can never get back. And it's something that I'm not ashamed that I did.
It got you to where you are,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, I'm not ashamed by any means.
I think that's what sparked your spiritual awakening,
Yes.
in all honesty.
Yes.
So, not that I'm recommending anybody do that either.
Yeah,
but
no.
I think that was almost.
But it was, I had to hit my lowest of my lowest to find out how much better life can actually be. And that's what started my whole spiritual awakening. And my ex and I did meth, a lot of meth, for about 2 years.
And this is a different, a different ex.
Yes.
This is the one,
for 2 years.
That you met online.
Yes.
Okay, yes. I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, we thought we were in love, but there is a definite difference between...
It's like a trauma bond.
Yes,
Yeah.
between people who are high. I mean, maybe some people who are high level and another. I mean, I'm not here to judge.
Yeah.
But once you take the drugs away, you don't really have anything in common. And I mean, the things that I did, I will forever be a little appalled by. But, I mean, it boils down to the matter that within those 2 years, I lost my job, my car, my house, my kids, and my dignity. And
even your friends, because
I lost everything. Friends, family, my children, everything.
Yeah.
And
let me just tell you, before everybody starts getting all crazy, and maybe it's just my paranoia, she was here, and not that it was supposed to be, it happened the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
But she was here, and we wanted her to stay here, and she took off with him again. So
yeah,
not by that.
And it was
really
also
messed up, but I was
very
listen, it's not one of those things where your friends try to your friends totally turn their backs on you. There are people out there with friends that are really right there, and it's just, if it is supposed to happen energetically, it's going to happen, right?
I also need to add too that it was a very, very physically abusive, mentally just toxic relationship from the get-go.
With him.
Yeah, it was toxic from the get-go.
Yeah.
And getting off that was I didn't have to do rehab, and I didn't have to do the groups and AA or NA, which I'm actually not opposed to going to, which I think would still be beneficial, because I'll forever be an addict. So it was the fact that my, at the time, fiance actually stabbed me and put me in a hotel room for I don't know how many days. It took that for me for me to actually be like, you know what, this is not the life you should be leading. What in the fuck are you doing? This is your sign that your time with this shit is over, or you're gonna die. And if I would have not left where I was and went to another city, I would either be dead or in prison. And those are facts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But man, like that is one of the toughest situations. And clearly it was like I think you're a healer. I really do. I think, I think she's a healer. And I mean, clearly, think about this. All the people out there that, and you can tell me this, all my peeps out there, let us know. We got to tell this girl, because there are so many people that are like counselors, and I'm not by any means saying that these counselors are terrible. That's not what I mean. But addiction counselors and all these things. And if they haven't personally been through it, they're not actually going to know.
They know book material. They don't know what it's actually like to be there. I'm not discrediting their opinion or their stature.
There's no judgment.
But I just feel that people can connect better with people when they've been in that situation. I myself had to go to court mandated rape counseling as a teenager, and I was told, the reason why your fight with your parents is because, this term and that term and blah, 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 blah. And a child is looking at you like, I don't even know what that means. Like, you're not speaking my language. Like, you're just so clinical about everything, and nobody grasps what you're actually talking about.
Yeah.
And then I asked the counselor, have you ever been raped? And she said, no, but I've read books. And maybe it was just me, but to me, how can you tell me how I'm feeling when you've not ever been in a circumstance like that, as child abuse or incest or rape or domestic violence or drug usage?
There's probably a lot of really good ones that have been in families like that, though. Like if you know somebody personally,
I guess they work with a lot of people,
right?
I guess,
but I think personally, the best counselors for those types of things are the ones that have been through it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really do.
I do too.
My guess is that you are. It's like
I would love to do
shamans.
that.
Like that's how
I would
shamans
love to do that.
Came about. You know what I mean? Like shamans came about because, well, not came about, but in villages and stuff, they think that the shamans, or like the kids that are like start having like nightmares or like seeing things or hearing things, or they've been through traumatic experiences and they, addiction and stuff. Like in our culture, they get depressed and they go through addictions, and there's probably so many healers out there like you.
But once they go to therapy and they tell them that they're depressed and what do?
Oh yeah, but they put them on drugs.
They put them on antidepressants, or they put them on Ritalin.
In villages, they take like the medicine man or medicine woman will go and take the child that's going through these things and teach them how to be a shaman, because that they see that as a sign
that they are meant to heal people.
Yes. And so to me, I'm like, in our society, it's so much different. It's so different.
Yeah, right away they want to label you with PTSD, ADHD, and drug you.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
Exactly.
It's very sad.
When, and there's so many, like the shamans, they use plants, right? Yeah. Marijuana, ayahuasca, mushrooms. I mean, there's a ton. And I'm not advocating for people to go out and do this themselves. I really think like you need somebody that's a shaman, because to me, there is, like, it opens up spiritual portals.
Yes.
Yes. And so you should be around somebody that, and this is just my little disclaimer here, that have, that know what to do in those situations.
Yes.
Not that it's going to happen in every situation, but to me, I'm just like, oh, God, be careful.
Well, you remember that one day when
Unless
I felt
with a shaman.
like I had twitching all over my body and I was freaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, with your spiritual enlightening and your journey to be enlightened, there's a lot of crazy little side effects. I mean, honestly, it was intense. I mean, some of the things that, I used to have a lot of dark thoughts, I guess, with the meth use and this and that, but marijuana and CBD, I don't think weird shit anymore. I mean, I just think about goofy shit, but it's not weird anymore, and it's not dark and negative like how it used to be.
Yeah,
and how many people on marijuana have you seen, crying, calling their ex, "Oh my God, I miss you"? No, that does not happen.
No,
you make
that's
wise
alcohol
decisions.
And other things.
Yes, because alcohol lowers your vibration.
Yeah, see,
and it puts you in
it's so amazing to me how like you can even see other people, like their actions, and tell how. Yeah. And like, have you ever seen two people that are, totally baked go at it in a street fight?
No, I mean they might fight over Cheetos, but other than that, we're good.
Totally fight over Cheetos. That's kind of a big deal when you're stuck.
It is.
But I mean, it's true. Like you can see it in the vibration of the person that has has ingested. So it's like the plant medicine. Like it's really teaching you versus a lot of man-made, and not that it's all completely man-made, because I mean, clearly they can, but it's like chemicals, they have switched a plant into something else.
Yeah.
And that's just my take. And I could be totally wrong. So, but that's just my take on that.
Yeah.
So, but like natural herbs and plants, like they actually, and they have like spiritual, it's like a teacher inside of it. You know what I mean? They teach you in different ways, which is completely amazing to me.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think my biggest problem was, if I could have found, no, I'm not even going to say that, because that's not accurate. I mean, I had to go through what I went through to bring me to where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So I don't regret.
That's why it happened.
Yeah, I don't regret anything. But, before my drug use, I was a little, just, like I had no high hopes. I had no ambition. I had no just want or desire to do anything in life. Nothing. But now it's like, now that I'm drug free, well, other than marijuana.
Yeah, but that's not a drug, that's a plant.
Yeah, see.
You can use it as a drug, you totally can. Like there are people that are like, you can have addictions to everything is what I mean. You know what I mean?
Like your addiction to cheese?
I really like cheese, and it's really not good for me. Like it does not do good things for me whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just saying. Regardless. You didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about. My husband and her like try to make fun of me for that. Regardless, let's get off this subject.
And this is the marijuana talking. See? I mean, do you see any sad things about weed?
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, even when we're talking about
I feel really
bad
sorry
things.
for you if you have a job where you get tested. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I know. Well,
but we could find somebody with some clean urine. I mean, this is all doable.
With this Great Awakening, though, I feel like we're moving into this era where it's going to be more things like all natural healing from plants and with shamans, and
I seen some lady today staring at my arm out the window. I don't know if we're there yet. I mean, if people can't handle tattoos, people can't handle shamans.
I know.
Who honestly knew what a shaman was?
Oh, God.
Till recently. I did not.
I'm sure.
But here's that spiritual awakening, that little eye right there in the sky.
The eye in the sky. Not the eye in the sky. That's like Illuminati.
Well, the eye in my
I know.
pie.
Wow, folks. Wow. Like, just wow. What the hell were we talking about?
I don't remember.
This is what happens. Anyway,
my nose itches.
We should probably start to wrap this up, because we've been talking for 47 minutes.
No.
Like, that's pretty badass. We're definitely...
Get us stoned and we never shut up.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty bad. So
I want pizza.
Well, there's pizza in there.
I need pizza.
We
need to wrap this up so I can go eat some pizza.
Yeah.
Because the only side effects of marijuana is you get a little chubby.
You get the munchies.
You get a little chubby. It's okay.
I know, that's okay. We still then... Oh, so next time I want to talk about things like sun gazing. I did that today. Sun gazing. I'll have to teach you all about that. Like, it was the first time that I did it today, and that actually helps your pineal gland.
And then we can talk about butthole tanning. That is called... What is that?
Yeah, like... I don't... like... Okay,
there
apparently there's this thing called... butthole tanning, and I always joke about it. I don't know if it's... I mean, it's apparently a thing. I don't know if it's like...
Look it up.
Actual. Like, it's kind of like sun gazing, where you're like, but you're putting your naked butthole to the sky, and...
Does great things for your anus.
Maybe Jupiter, too. I don't know. Oh, my God. Anyway... Yes, we'll talk about all of that stuff in the
there will be
next
spiritual
series
enlightening in that as
Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners.
We still don't really remember the name, but we'll remember it. We're gonna write it down. Yeah. Make a little sticker.
I started to, and then I just...
and then she got sidetracked.
I had a ton of things that I needed to tell you guys about medical marijuana, but you know what? We had a
But then this came into play, and
then the marijuana came into play, and you'll realize that some things, like this is the worst negative side effect there is. Like, you get goofy and you forget things. Whatever.
Which I do when I'm not stoned too, but
yeah. So whatever. Anyway, welcome to your awakening, and this is going to be a fucking blast.
Yes, it is. But next time you tune in, you must have this ready
Yes,
so you can
that's
be
true.
on our level.
Mystic Conversations with Awakening Stoners. Boom.
Bam. Done.
Okay.